about, connection is key. Be connected to good men in real time. And that's it. Surround yourself with really decent people. And if you've got shit humans in your life, cut them out. I know it's pretty controversial. It sounds a bit harsh, but these days, if I've got people in my life who don't add to my experience, then I don't spend time with them. Now, and what it means is if I was to hold on to all the friends that I had at 48 when I was 18, then there's no space in my life for someone like Lockie to come in. We've been mates for a few months now through training, then that space wouldn't be there because my dance card would be full. So if you have all the same friends that you had 20 years ago, then you've got to ask yourself, are you evolving? Or are you the same person you were 20 years ago?
Yeah, because on that friend card, it's like we don't choose our friends from a young age. Like we go to school, we're sort of pushed into these group of friends, which is awesome because I've got a heap of great friends. But then, like you said, you've got to think about who you want to be. Are they empowering you or disempowering you? And if they are adding value to your life, and when I first thought about this, I was like, I'm an asshole telling people to do this, but I say, what kind of life do you want? Do you want to just be constantly feeling bad because you're worried about letting your school friends down? Mm-hmm. Or do you want to actually evolve into the person you want to be and have the impact that you want to have? Right? Because eventually most people have children or most people become uncles, aunties or whatever, and we want to be a great role model. Yeah. But if you're still hanging around people that you don't align values with, it's going to be really hard for you to have the impact you want to have on people. We've got a few questions coming on here.
Yeah, go.
All right, so this is from Holly. I think it's also a factor of the pressures in life that can curve out who you are and how you behave, not just necessarily who you surround yourself with. So I think my take on that is all the pressures in our life are stuff that we put on ourselves. And this is, when I first got told this, I got really offended so I don't mean to offend anyone, but this is reality. I think it's like we put the pressures on ourselves, whether it's financial, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You look at all the people who want to look good. There's the pressures that they put on themselves to do that, whether they, start starving themselves, try heaps of diets, exercise 4 hours a day like I do. No, but there's, you know what I mean? So the pressures that we put on ourselves come back to the beliefs that we have about what we should have. Okay, so most people, and I always wanted to do this, I felt a lot of pressure because I hadn't, I didn't have the house, I didn't have the car, I didn't have the uni degree, all these things that I thought I should have had at this point in time, right? So I was putting stress on myself because of this false belief or this belief that, or value that didn't actually align with my current lifestyle, if that makes sense, Holly. So I think really think about what pressures you've got in your life, okay? And understand where they're coming from. Like, are you putting them on yourself to look a certain way, to feel a certain way, to have people talk about you in a certain way? Okay. Or is it, I understand there are some life pressures.
And all that pressure comes from what other people think. Like in essence, you go, we want houses, cars, jobs, money, look a certain way, do certain things because of what other people think quite often. And to me, that's such a dangerous place to be because you don't need to. The opportunity for you is to go, I look and think the best thing for me is, I've picked up years ago, the best saying I love is what other people think of me is none of my business. So I am the person whose opinion matters the most to me. I go in and out of that and I struggle with that at times for sure. But it's so important for me that I'm happy with who I am when I look at the man in the mirror as a partner, as a father, as a professional, just as a human being, to go that I'm the best guy I can be. If I look in the mirror and go, like, did I really bring my best? Saying I use, did I show up as the best version of me possible every day? So did I show up as the best version of me today? Some days, no. Some days I've got the shits or whatever and I'm not as good. But it's about understanding if you're striving every day to just be the best version of you. So for instance, if you look at Lockie and I from a physical training capability, at 27 to 48, he's going to be able to train harder than I am just by age. Now, there may be some other sides around, tenacity and mental strength or something where I may be able to push harder because I've got a different experience. But it's understanding who you are. So if we train together, I don't give a fuck what Lockie's doing. I don't go, I wish I was as strong as him. I've got another guy who's 29 that I train with, Gino. He's a great young guy. And he's an absolute weapon at training. And he's a guy that I go and train with him and I'm like, mate, awesome, you smashed it. But I don't look at me and go, oh, man, I wish I was as fast as he is or can lift as much weight as he does, because we're different. So you take that into into the rest of your life, then it's all about just going, who are you? And something Cornelius just came through, brother, good to see you. It says, fine line between the power of shared experience with your friends and falling into my dog is blacker than your dog. Talking about depression, you know. And so true, mate. Like people, we get in this competition of going, oh, my life's fucked, oh, really? Mine's this. And people, we just love drama. And I look and think, there's a whole genre of TV. Anything that's on after about 7 p.m. at night on TV is drama.
If it's 6, it sends the news.
Yeah. Good point. So we're looking at news, it's all drama. We're looking at, you know, TV shows, whether it's MasterChef or whatever, like all these things that are just all drama and grief and conflict. Stop watching it. What you watch and what you ingest sets up who you are.
Yeah, and I throw that out there to people who love the news, who thrive on it. Like, obviously, you know, if you want to watch the stock markets, I get it. But like, a lot of people love watching the drama because then it makes them feel significant. Because when they come talk to Sean, they go, "Sean, did you see on the news last night that plane crash?"
Yeah, absolutely.
So you might have the one, and I know a lot of people do this, and I used to do it a lot as well. But
yeah,
and then I was like, I'm not adding value to anyone. Am I actually going to fly to this country and help these people who are going through X or Y? Probably not. So it's not my issue.
Absolutely.
We got heaps of questions rolling in now. Joy, what about people you've grown up with?
Yeah. See, tough, Joy. If they don't align with where you are, move away. Yeah. And I don't just mean you wake up one day and go, like, if Lockie and I had been schoolmates and I don't wake up one day and go, well, fuck him, and delete his number and stop talking to him. But if you've got people that you've spent, you know, I've got my best mate I met when I was 14, so that's, 34 years ago. And I look at him, and him and I are very similar. We go in and out of being super close, then we might talk every couple of weeks, and we might talk every couple of days. And it just depends on where we are and what we're doing. I love him to death. He's a great guy. He's like my brother. But if I went down a particular path of doing, in my life being the best version of me, and he didn't, and we lost contact and drifted, then I go, that's life. And it's not bad. But if one person is, like, if Locke and I are great mates, and if I'm not feeling it, the same connection and the same commonality and the same whatever that we used to have, then he's not going to be either. So it's not like it'll sort of be like a romantic relationship. I guess where one person might be, I really want this friendship, and the other person's like, no. You both feel it. But the fear for people is going, well, if I leave a space in my life not surrounded by people, and we talked about this the other day, and I saw you had it on a video yesterday, about people hating to be on their own. And I think that's part of it, Joy. That's part of the fear, right? The fear is if I walk away from these people in my life that aren't the same or don't do what I do and all this sort of stuff, then it's all about knowing that those people, like, we've just changed, and the space that's left can be filled by other people or by you, but we're scared. It's the monkey with the vine. We're scared to let go of one vine till we have hold of another because of that fear. And I think so many of us just fill our lives, whether it's alcohol or whatever, but it can be a whole lot of things that fill our lives to try and avoid the parts that we're worried about and spending time on our own. As we talk, Tony Duncan, legend, I was just talking about you. That's my mate since I was 14. That sort of stuff is where the fear comes up for people. If you have known people for a long time, it's hard. But
yeah, you just got. It's once again going back to being selfish and being okay with it, because it's the old analogy, like put your oxygen mask on the plane before you help other people. And the way I look at it is like, you've only got so much time on this planet, and everyone, I guarantee who's watching this has probably said in their life, I'm too busy to do that. Yeah. And that's just a bullshit excuse for it's not a priority, which is fine. So if you can own up to that and be like, it's not a priority, I'm not going to do it, then that's fine. So it's the same with people. Like, I've got people in my life that I know can provide value in this area, and this area. But when I was even saying it out loud, I'm like, that's such a prick thing to do. But at the same time, it's like, I know if I can fill my cup in, the sport area, in the great conversation area, in the adventure area, like, it's going to make me a better person, so that when I interact with people along my journey, I'm going to be able to provide more value, rather than hanging out with people who don't align with my values. That makes me miserable, so that I'm this moping person, like, unfortunately, 90% of the population who just drag their feet through every day, hoping.
Definitely, man. Yeah. And people, there's two things. One, Dave Ross, how are you, brother? A mate of mine from the police from years ago. He goes, we haven't spoken for a while, but I know you back me if needed. That's what friendship is, and that's right. Like, I might not talk to someone for 2 years, and I've had this happen a fair bit in the last little while. People I haven't spoken to for a long time, and they call out and go, "Hey, can you help me?" or "What about this?" And I go, "Yeah, sure." Just because you don't see each other doesn't mean the friendship's not strong. And then the other part of what Lockie's just saying there, a big part for me is going, if I'm pushing forward in my life to be the best version of me, doesn't mean it's better than you, doesn't mean it's better than Lockie, it's just me. It's not a competition. But if I'm pushing hard to be my best version, then you will take the people with you that are meant to be in your life.
Yeah.
Because they'll be inspired by it or whatever. So, and it's not Lockie and I aren't the only two people on the planet that do that. I've got other friends of mine who do things that I'm like, oh man, awesome idea. Shit, I'm going to have a look at that. Thanks. But if we're all just sitting waiting for someone else to start, or all just sitting around waiting for somebody else to be the first one out of the gate, Moza, hey brother, then the problem for us is it just means that we end up spending our lives stagnant, waiting for someone else to go first.
With that, brother.
So it's like if Lockie and I walk up to a door at a shop or something, and I open the door and we both stand there and wait to go through first for an hour, it doesn't work. But in our lives, we do that all the time because we wait for someone else to go first and we're scared of being judged. Like, I've copped a fair bit of shit over the last 15 years through this personal development thing, but I go, who gives a fuck? Because it's my opinion that's more important to me. And if other people are challenged by it, it's quite likely it's because, it brings up stuff for them on what they're not doing. Who knows? I don't know what other people do. I'm not in their head. But for you guys, it's about being the best version for you, for your family. And I think it starts you as the individual, then your family, your like wife, husband, kids, whatever. Then the next level out, your close friends, and the next level out, other friends. Then it just keeps going out in those circles. And naturally, as those circles expand from the nucleus of your life, you're going to have less time and energy and focus on those. I think it's natural.
Yeah.
So let's
we got Holly. Are you guys going to start a real life chat or program for men? We both do stuff, so we'll probably collaborate in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Like, no doubt. And like, one of my big goals, and Locke and I haven't even talked about this, but I'm sure he'd be in it, is to put groups of men in rooms and have these chats. Like have literally like a Q&A chat for men in a room, and with wives, with girlfriends, with whoever, because it's a thing that is really, it's not just men individually, it's men and how we interact. It's how we interact with each other, how we interact with our partners, with our kids, with friends, with family, with all that. So yeah, definitely, Holly, there'll be a lot more to come in this space, for sure. Oh, looks like we've got internet dropping.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. See you, Dave. Good to see you, brother. So guys, we're just going to go a little bit, we'll pull it up soon because I think we're just about done enough for today for you guys. But I want to finish on what it means to be a strong man, I reckon. We've probably done it in roundabout ways, but I want to put it into real context. You go, mate.
For me, I always thought the strong man was like the muscly dude on the footy field who could sink a lot of beer and hold his own. But now the way I look at it from a holistic point of view would be like, I see so many relationships, and this is probably a big one for me, where there's just no emotional connection between the couples. And for me, that's like, why the fuck are you together if you can't actually connect? So I think, a strong man is obviously, I think it's like someone who looks after themselves physically, someone who looks after themselves mentally, someone who looks after the people in their life, not on just a financial level or whatever it is, but it's like you're there for them and give them that emotional support. And someone who just, I think, without overthinking it, as I am, that would be it to me. It's just like well connected rather than bottling everything up and feeling like I've got to look after this, and just bearing all the stress. I think, we talk about equality, which I think is amazing. Like, women and men are just so different but similar in the same way. I think, if you can come together and understand your strengths and weaknesses as people, rather than trying to have all the strengths or feel like you have all the weaknesses, it's like you just create this cyborg thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
And I think it's hey Shay, how are you? I think it's a whole lot of things. To be a strong man, to me, I've defined it or distilled it down to being a loving, connected and powerful leader in your life. And it is about being physically strong and capable and healthy. So, as melodramatic as it sounds, if I'm sitting in my lounge room with my daughters and Rach and someone breaks in the front door, then I can handle myself and protect them. I think that's part of it, but that's a minor part. The major part is being emotionally strong, to be able to be connected and loving to them no matter where and not care what people think. So if I'm out in public with my daughters who I love, I'm hugging and kiss them and whatever, and I'm like, if people look at that and think, oh, that's soft or weak, I don't care. If it's with Rach, same thing. I'm very respectful and loving to her, so same thing. If I'm so happy to be that emotionally connected guy, and with other men, like if I got good mates of mine, and when I see them, it's, I hug them, because that to me is really important. So that's what I really want men to understand, is that being a strong man is not about being the toughest guy who sinks the most beers and fights the most people. Like I've been in that for years. Lockie's in that for years. That's not the sense of being strong. Unfortunately, some of the biggest, toughest men are the most scared and weak on the inside. So to me, it's being emotionally connected and comfortable in who you are makes you a strong man. I think in a nutshell, that's it.
We've got a few people asking if this is going to be recorded. Obviously on Instagram it's not, but we've got 20 other devices going on here. So it will be on our Facebook pages.
Yeah. And we're going to put it up as a podcast episode as well.
Yeah, we're going to. Well, I only just started recording it a bit later, so it'll be half of a podcast. But, so if anyone, like Holly, if you want this for your partner, either jump on my Facebook page or Sean's Facebook page, and you can share the video.
And if you're looking for us guys, just for me, it's the Strong Life Project everywhere. So stronglifeproject.com, Strong Life Project, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Hey, Footy, how are you, bro? And thanks, Shay. And where's the best place to find you, Lock?
I'm an Instagram dude.
Yeah.
And YouTube, Instagram.
So Lockie Stewart, STUA, Lachlan Stewart. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, no,
very formal.
I know. I just don't want to change it. But yeah, LACHLAN STUART. Same with Facebook. Just find it, and I share generally the same stuff. So that's where you can find this recording. And
then, guys, we'll do this as often as you want us to do it. So, we'll do it at least once a week for 30 minutes. We're going to probably try different times, because I know 7:30 in the morning in Oz is a bit of a challenge for some people. But shoot us, the personal message, direct message on Insta or Facebook to either of us if you've got those questions. So happy to do that. Or email me, mine, Sean, SHAUN, at thestronglifeproject.com. Or what's yours, mate?
Lachlan Stewart at LockieStewartCoaching.com. Sorry, Lockie at LockieStewartCoaching.com. Because I just sending random emails out.
That's it. So it's hey Willow, how are you, brother? There you go. There's Mark Foot, who's a mate of mine who I've met recently. He's off to walk Dakota track with a group of men. Like, awesome, brother. That's the sort of stuff that we're talking about. Darren, good to see you, mate.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up. But if you guys did find value from it, share the video, or get in contact with us. Yeah. Really appreciate you guys jumping on, and hope you got some value. I'm sure you did. I got some value listening.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, brother.
Now we're going to turn all these devices off.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
See you guys.
Bye.